Here we are, back in the studio. Welcome, everyone. And now, this is the second time live streaming in 1 week. I want to try the intro one more time. All right, just give me a second. Let's roll it. There we go. Did that intro work? Did it work? Let me know in the comments if you saw the intro. That would be amazing because I'm just trying to fine tune here in the studio. All right, welcome everyone. Oh my goodness, 65 people already watching. Welcome back, and I hope everyone is doing well. Oh man, ask me anything. Not yet. Hold on. We're going to do a lot of questions today. Oh, good to see everyone. Can you hear me? Is the audio good for everyone? Hopefully it is. I did a little test ahead of time, so I believe we're good to go, but let me know. Okay, Anthony, thanks for letting me know the intro worked. AK Trail Runner in the house. Oh, that's good because I was a little frustrated last time when the intro did not roll. Okay, boy. All right, let me just pull up some comments here real quick. And actually my notes, I got a few notes just to make sure we are on track. There we go. So how was, let us know in the comments, where are you watching from around the world, all right? I know, so this is 1 p.m. in Colorado, and I did it a little earlier today, hopefully to reach more people around the world, all right? This is a global YouTube family, so folks in Europe and even further east, like Israel. I know it was really late. We have quite a few people watching from Israel. And anyway, let us know in the comments where you are watching from. All right, hello from Macau. All right, I don't know where that is from. Let me just hold on 1 second there. And hello from Malta. Greece is in the house. Good to see. Hello from Ireland. Very cool. Good to see everyone. Let's see, Spy, we will get to your questions here in a little bit. And let me jump over to this screen real quick here. Okay, Finland it is in the house. Upstate New York, David. Poland, hello, Poland. Good to see everyone. From Poland, hello from Massachusetts, Florida, Portugal. Spork in Belgium, okay. And then Vernon watching from Trinidad and Tobago. I appreciate I hope it's warmer there than it is in Colorado right now. And before we get too far along, if you care to share, in fact, I'm going to do it right now. So I'm going to tweet this link out to everyone just so they know we're live. If you care to share it with your running friends, I would appreciate it. Send it out on Facebook and Twitter. Okay, let me just tweet this. Live. Okay, boom. There we go. So it's just so everyone knows we're live. And yes, how was your run today? Did you get a long run in? I took it a little easier today, which I will explain in tomorrow's vlog as to why I did that. But I took it a little easier, going about 7 miles, nice and easy. Oh, Leopoldo, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Let's see. He says, actually, let me add this to the broadcast real quick here. Make sure I don't miss it. 1 second. There we go. So Leopoldo says, drove from Connecticut to Florida to be with my fiance during these trying times. So different how flat terrain is compared to rolling hills. Yes. Oh man, good for you for driving down to Florida to be with your fiance. These are very, very interesting times. That is for sure. Okay, we got another super chat from Latvia, Riga, Latvia. Awesome. Oh, that's great. Thank you for that €5 super chat. I appreciate that. That helps out the channel a ton. Okay, let me again pull up my notes real quick here. And yes, how was your run today? So, let's see. Running pancakes. Let's see. Bronx is in the house. Cornwall, UK is here. And I do have a few updates real quick. First of all, before we dive in, I'm going to try, again, I'm just getting used to this live streaming. I'm going to pull up my desktop. Let me know if you can see this. Okay, I think it's working. So this is the DeMoor Global Running Group on Strava. And you're looking at the desktop version. And in case you're on Strava and you didn't know that we have a global group, there's over 6,000 runners there now. Look at that number. I can't believe it. And yes, there is a weekly leaderboard for distance and climbing, for vertical gain. So it's just amazing, and a lot of good discussion also happens there. You can post if you have questions. You can post here. It takes a second to load, but you can post questions in the group as well, which is similar. I'm going to pull it up here in a minute. So here's a place where you can post and ask questions and comment, and I think it's a great place. But in addition, we also have the Facebook group. So hopefully you can see the Facebook group. I think there's around 3,000 people on the Facebook group, and I realize not everyone is on Facebook, but this is another way that you can, hold on, let me just hide this real quick. Okay, that you can join in the discussion about running, and people share all sorts of, about shoes, about this is from Rosie. She went on a beautiful run today and posted her picture. So anyway, wanted to bring that up. And last but not least is I did update the merch shop, okay? And listen, I know everyone has a lot of running t-shirts, but if you want some t-shirts, help support the channel, there's hoodies, there's tank tops, there's even iPhone cases you can support in that way. So just wanted to bring, it's through Teespring, just so you know, through Teespring. Okay, let me pull this back up here, and we're back. Okay, so let me dive back into the questions real quick, and let's see. Oscar says, I just got Strava and joined the group. Awesome, Oscar. Very cool. So here we go. All right. So this is a unique live stream. And by the way, cheers. I hope you got a drink to just sit down and chill with. Oh, and thank you, Ultra Dad, for the $5 super chat. I appreciate it. My son wants to know how training is going. He says Cruel Jewel 100 in May is still on. Here's to hoping. Have you tried the Hoka Bondi? Awesome, Ultra Dad. So that's a great segue. And training's going well. I'll probably dive more into it, Ultra Dad. I'm a little tired right now, which I am going to talk about in tomorrow's vlog. And so anyway, but I overall doing well. Obviously, with all the races being postponed, it does change things up a little bit. But thanks for asking. I am going to do a track workout, everyone, on Tuesday, just so you know. So that's a little different. And I have not tried the Hoka Bondi, but good question. A very maximalist shoe from Hoka, as many of you know. And here's another one coming in. Super chat. Oh, I appreciate it. Love from Norway. 15K today. Awesome. Oh, I'm sorry on the name. Ovind? I'll say Ovind. Maybe that's close. But thank you for watching from Norway. Okay, so this is an Ask Me Anything live stream, and we'll go for quite a while. I will absolutely answer as many questions as possible. And if I don't get to your questions, do forgive me. They're going to come in quick. Of course, you can always do a super chat to make sure I see the questions. And then YouTube also added you can do stickers as well. Anyway, so I haven't done many of those, but if you want to throw a sticker up, that's cool too. It all helps. Oh, thank you. Tommy says, I love the shirts. Thanks for picking up a Teespring shirt. I appreciate that. Okay, here you go. So let's dive into Julian's question. He says, what are your thoughts on running in groups right now? I think there's an issue with social distancing, as I showed you on Twitter. So Julian, thanks for tuning in. Julian, I appreciate it. Julian's, I met Julian at the group run out at the New York City Marathon, and hopefully Julian will be able to do a group run this upcoming November in Central Park, but we shall see. So right now it's, every day with the coronavirus, the situation changes, and it is becoming more serious in the United States. As many of you know, the cases are going up because testing is going up, and from what I've heard from the doctors, the experts, is that the particles, and this is I've heard this from a couple different doctors, is that when we're breathing out, I guess it's, I don't know if they mean inside or outside, but when we're breathing out a plume, and sorry for the details, but a plume of whatever, moisture comes out of or also when you sneeze, and that's why they say stay 6 feet apart from people, but it can stay in the air for a long time, those particles after we sneeze. Again, sorry for the details. So at this point, Julian, No group runs. Like, I'm not doing group runs. I usually train solo anyways, but as runners, as you know, we're breathing hard. It's like, I don't want to get into too many details, but there's a lot going on when we're breathing hard. Sometimes we have to cough. I know I cough every now and then when I'm running. And so I think at this point in the United States, and obviously it's different around the world, but every country has different amount of cases. But I think, social distancing is really important. So anyway, Julian, thanks for bringing that up. And let's dive into another question. Let's see. I don't even know here. Lawrence asks, question coming from a bodybuilding background. Proteins were very important. I got into running. Should I eat as much proteins? Boy, Lawrence, Lauren, I do eat quite a bit of protein. I do love my chicken. I love my tuna. I love my salmon. But as far as the meat options, I know you can get protein in other ways from nuts. But I would say, I don't know. I've never done bodybuilding. I would think that for bodybuilding, it's more important. But anyway, I do incorporate quite a bit of protein into my my diet. And you know why, Lawrence? Is because protein really actually fills me up. Like I actually feel full. When I eat too much like processed grains or cereals or what have you, I usually don't feel as full. So that is why. So thank you for that question. Okay, super chat came in. Oh, thank you, Cindy. I appreciate it. $1.99. Oh, hope that is good. Okay, let's see. I appreciate that. And then Yoga A, here we go. How's the digital race for April 19th going on? So good question. Still working out the details. Yoga A, we're working on t-shirt designs right now, just so you know. I did reach out to a bunch of different companies about the virtual racing, and unfortunately, I have not heard back from any yet, which tells me they are very, very, very busy with every physical in-person race being canceled basically around the world. From what I can tell, there's a couple happening. I think virtual racing companies that put on these races, I think they're inundated. And so I have not heard back yet from those companies. Good question. It's coming along. Thanks for asking. Let's see. Oh man. Okay. I'm just trying to find, let's see. Tom Jones asked, would I consider reviewing VJ shoes? I would. I believe it's a company. Is it from Finland or Norway? I've never ran in them. I would consider it. Good question. Gavin asked, do you think solo running is okay? Gavin, I do, because I think it's great for our mental health. I think we still need to get out there and run, but I do recommend, just keeping that social distance, which everyone, that has changed over the past 2 weeks. Like 2 weeks ago in the United States, that phrase social distancing wasn't on. I had never heard of it before. So again, this is all coming in quickly. Let's see. Let's put this one up real quick. If you could only run one marathon, which would you race, Boston or New York? Oh, Running with Pete. I love it. Okay, Pete, I think for those that watch a lot on the channel, which I appreciate, it's got to be New York, because my mom is from New York. She's from a huge family in New York, upstate New York. New York is my second home, so it's got to be New York. And nothing wrong with Boston, but I just love New York, and I love the 5 boroughs and the different cultures in New York. It's just amazing. So gotta go in New York. Nothing against Boston, but let's see. I love it, Emily. I love it. Do you still plan on filming the London Marathon in October? 100%. 100%. In fact, British Airways, shout out to British Airways. They were very accommodating for changing tickets. My flight was actually canceled because you can't really leave the U.S. right now. So yes, I am planning to come to London. We just got to beat the virus, right? Not the Irish, the virus. Hashtag beat the virus. The virus, not the Irish. Okay, here we go. Garrett asks, is the coronavirus going to affect your training? Not really, other than I'm taking a few more risks like I did last Wednesday. I went for that 23-mile hard run, meaning because I'm not running a race in April, no, what was it? Yeah, April. I'm loosening up my training a little bit, meaning I would not have done a race like that, or sorry, a long run at that pace if I was getting ready for Hamburg. So, but not, yeah, it's not really impacting my training too much. Okay, I'm trying to see. I think I missed a super chat from Caleb. Here we go. He says, "Are you going to get and review the New Balance Fuel Cell TC?" I don't think so, Caleb. I think I'm going to wait for the RC, okay? We'll see. The RC, just so everyone knows, is a little higher end carbon fiber plate shoe from New Balance. So, oh, Caleb, well, I don't know. So many shoes, so little time, as I often say. So stay tuned, though. I keep trying to test as many shoes as possible for you. Let's see. And it always helps, just so you know, in the chat to put a question mark because it's easier for me to find. Lolo asks, "Hey Seth, I'm still working on building my aerobic base." Awesome. "All my runs are easy and I go between 30 and 90 minutes depending on how I feel. What shoe would you recommend?" Oh, okay. It depends. I don't know what you've trained in the past, Lolo. Gosh, I'm just looking around, kind of brainstorming here for you. So there's so many shoes, and you know, the Infinity Run React, I enjoyed quite a bit. It's a wider landing area from Nike. Okay, Infinity Run React. As all of you know, how much I love the Nova Blast from Asics right now. It's a bouncy shoe. Loving this shoe a lot. Gave me a few blisters, but we're getting over that together. Thanks for all the Band-Aid ideas, everyone. So I think this would do great for middle distance or long run days, and it's got enough midsole stack height just to absorb some of that pounding. And I would also say the Rincon, but the Rincon 2 from Hoka is coming out pretty soon. The Hoka Rincon, spelled Rincon. It's a little lighter, and it could also be used for some little more up-tempo days as well. So hopefully that gets you started. I guess, yeah, I'll leave it there, Lolo. Good question, and hopefully that helps you there. Okay, everyone, moving on here. So many good questions. I'm just making sure I'm not missing any super chats. Oh, my goodness. Okay, and yes, Scott says he's loving the Nova Blast. That's good. Let's see. Forward Looking says, okay, 1 second here. "With a strict budget, I can't buy a range of shoes for different run days. What is the 2 or 3 things to consider for buying a shoe that ticks as many boxes as possible? Trail run, but street through the week." Okay, I think I understand what you're saying there, is that you want a shoe that can run in the streets but also on the trails. I really have loved Forward Looking. I've loved the Hoka Speed Goat lineup, whether it's the Speed Goat 4 or the EVO Speed Goat. In fact, the EVO Speed Goat is a little lighter. Actually, it's quite a bit lighter than the Speed Goat 4, but it's a pretty aggressive outsole pattern. However, through the mud, through the snow of the wintertime, I've really enjoyed using this on trails and on pavement and concrete that has ice and snow on it. Okay, so this has treated me really well. I'll also give a shout out to the Nike Wild Horse lineup, which actually you're in luck. You're in luck, everyone. A brand new shoe arrived a couple days ago. Here we go. The Nike Wild Horse 6 is in. Here we go. Let me set that down. The Wild Horse 6 is in the house. So I have not tested this shoe out. The Wild Horse 5 I loved a lot, and I think this is absolutely a crossover shoe from pavement to trails. I'll keep you posted. I haven't tried this out yet, so stay tuned on the channel for my thoughts on this shoe. All right, moving on here. Again, I'll do my best to answer as many as possible. Let's see. Only 1 second. There we go. Would you mind sharing your casual footwear? And are your picks made having in mind how they would affect your feet? Cheers. So I'm not too exciting. I mean, it's crazy, but everyone, as I'm running, I don't know if, maybe it's because I'm getting older. I mean, just being really frank here, but my legs, I do put them through a lot. as I know you do as well, and I'm trying to be smart about just how I treat my legs. So anyway, I spend most of my time in the slides from Hoka. These are recovery sandals or slides from Hoka, and I love them. They're available down below, just so you know. They're from Amazon, and I live in these only because my legs, like when I'm running 100+ mile a week, it's painful. It's just painful. So I do wear these a lot. So good question. Thanks, Graham Bestow, for tuning in. I love it. Okay. Yes. S. Dot. Looking forward. Forward looking, check out the Pegasus Trail 36. Awesome. Yes, I 100% agree, connecting to the previous question. Okay, moving on. Eric, how is the landing of ASICS Nova Blast compared to the Glide Ride? So the Nova Blast is a lot more squishy. Hold on one second. Here we go. It's a lot more forgiving. It'll absorb a little more pounding, whereas the Glide Ride is more responsive and not snappier, but it's firm isn't there. It'll basically get you through your foot strike a lot quicker in the Glide Ride compared to the Nova Blast. The Nova Blast is good for, I think you could use it for a tempo day shoe because it is light enough. But anyway, that's what I'm sensing. It's like if you do the bend test on the Glide Ride, like you try and bend it, like it's really hard to bend, just so you know. Okay, good question. Just getting them going. Let's see. Butter them legs. Yes, Wesley, absolutely. I'm trying to butter them every single day. Okay. Have you seen anything on the Nike Air Zoom Victory Strikes or Spikes? I have. I haven't tried them. I haven't seen them in person, but they look very, very intriguing. Okay. Yes, running is life. Will you try the Atreus? I will. For those that don't know, I believe they're out of Austin, Texas. A brand new company. It's unique, very affordable. It's almost like a subscription based, from what I understand. Like you sign up and then they send you shoes. Anyway, I don't understand their business model yet, but Atreyu is on my radar. Good question. I just haven't had a chance to try them yet. Let's see. Jonathan asks, trail shoe for flat compact trail marathon. I mean, really, Jonathan, depending on how buffed out the trail is, I would almost look at a road shoe. Really. Now, if there's pebbles and stuff, like, it's amazing. Only the reason I say that, Jonathan, if you want to go a little faster, road shoes are typically lighter than trail shoes. So it all depends on the course, and that's where it's, if you have an opportunity ahead of time to preview the course, that would be great. So you can see because some buffed out trails, it's almost like running on a road. But if the trail is a little more loosey-goosey, as we like to say, I would look at the Nike Pegasus 36 trail, like we already mentioned. Yeah, I really would. Nike Pegasus 36 trail or the Hoka EVO Speed Goat. What else? Yeah, those would be my two go-to for sure. Let's see. Brian asked, this is a tough one. How much should I lift my legs in front of me and feet behind me, or do I keep a natural stride? Oh, Brian, that's a tough one, man. I mean, I always say, your natural, normal running gait is best unless there's like some major issues. How much? I mean, as far as an angle, I guess I don't have an angle. A specific. I should probably come up with an angle. I don't know what that exact angle should be, Brian. I will say that don't overstride, meaning your foot is landing too far ahead of you, because that can actually act as a brake. That's why I think maybe 2 weeks ago I made a vlog about quick feet, and I focus more on cadence over stride length, because when you try to lengthen your stride, like unless your stride is really, really short, you should work on those hip flexors and lifting your legs up a little bit more. It's rare that I see a runner that has a stride that is way, way too short. But I focus on that cadence and that foot strike and how many steps you're taking in a minute in order to run faster. Okay. All right. I see a super chat from Zach. Thank you, Zach, for that super chat. Oh, man. A while ago, you said you probably wouldn't race in the Alpha Flies. After your first impression, do you think you might change your mind? That is from Zach. Here we go. Oh, man. So I'm doing a time. Well, the next time I race, I don't know when that's going to be, right, everyone? We're all up in the air there. But I am going to do, Zach, a time trial this Saturday. I'm going to do a half marathon time trial as if I was racing a marathon on April 19th, which I am, racing a marathon. At this point, I'm not going to race in the Alpha Flies. I love the shoe, as many of you know. Now, I have some more thoughts on the stack height of this shoe compared to the original Alpha Flies that Kipchoge raced in over in Vienna. Anyway, but at this point, no, I'm not planning on racing in the Alpha Flies, but I am going to do a time trial this upcoming Saturday, like 6 days from now here in Denver. I'm planning to do it on the Cherry Creek Trail. If anyone has any insider information on, anyway, I'm going to go scope it out tomorrow. But good question from Zach, and thank you for that super chat. Let's see. C-Chad Run says, in lieu of today's video, I really think you should try the Adidas Solar Glide 19. It's my favorite shoe for the last 2 years. Wow. Just so everyone knows, I'm struggling with Adidas. I'm trying to get excited about Adidas, but at this point, it's like, oh, I'm waiting to find the shoe that really works for me. Oh my goodness. Big super chat from Gaston. Thank you, Gaston. Now that there's not a race in your near future, do you plan going back to mountain as a preseason training? Cheers from Uruguay. Drinking mate. Yes, we're drinking turmeric tea today. Thank you. In fact, I need to take a sip here. 1 second. So, Gaston, I am, Gaston, going to do the time trial this Saturday. I'm going to do the marathon on April 19th. I'll take a break. I don't know how long the break will be. It'll be at least a week, all right? Maybe 10 days. I'm not sure yet. And then, Gaston, next big goal, peak race for me will be the Pikes Peak Ascent, which is Pikes Peak Marathon, which is a big mountain race here in Colorado. So, yes, I will be transitioning to the mountains in the next 6 to 8 weeks. It's amazing. And you're going to see a lot more trail running shoes showing up on the channel, just so you know. So, good question, Gaston, and I appreciate that super chat. So, stay tuned for mountain footage very soon. Okay, Sink asks, how long is the durability, do you think, for the Alpha Fly? I think I said, oh, that's not it. I think I said no. I think I said about 200 miles before the midsole starts to break down a little bit, where you're not getting as much energy return, Sank. So I'd say my gut is telling me 200 miles. Oh, yeah, and the big question, Sank, is the AirPods. All right, there's the AirPod there. Will this AirPod on the Alpha Fly, how will it do? Because as you know, in the next percent and the 4%, they did not have AirPods in these shoes, okay? There's the internal viewing of the 4% and the next percent, all right, split in two. So, obviously, they did not have AirPods in the shoe. Good question from Sank. Thank you. Let's see. Moving on here. Oh, man. Alexis asked, speed workouts for mountain running format. I do think it's important, Alexis, but it's maybe a little fine-tuned. So certainly when you're doing mountain running, you need to get used to running uphill, of course, and downhill. All right, keep that in mind when your quads are getting pounded. So I think, hill repeats, of course, whether it's like a 600-meter hill repeat, I think is great. I like to do like 8 to 10 600-meter hill repeats with a slow jog back downhill. I also, Alexis, like to incorporate undulating hills with speed work mixed in. So because a lot of courses, especially 50Ks, longer races, you're going to be going up and down, up and down. And so getting used to that transition, I think, is critical for your workouts. So good question from Alexis, and Simon's got a €5 super chat. Thanks, Simon. How long do you think it's realistic to extend the current marathon training plan, extending the build phase and adding recovery weeks? Let's see. How long do you think it's realistic to extend the current marathon? So I wonder, Simon, if you're asking about if with all these races being canceled, are you trying to extend? I think I understand. I would say, Simon, 2 to 3 weeks, I think you could. But Simon, I think anything past that and your body might start to get a little tired, okay? Meaning when I was training for the Cleveland Marathon last fall, last spring in 2019, the training block was 19 weeks, I think, 19 to 20 weeks, and it was way too long. In fact, I ended up getting injured. So I think a typical marathon training block is right around 12 to 16 weeks, depending on the schedule that you're on. And so extending that 2 to 3 weeks, I think you could pull it off, but much more than that, and I'd just be a little careful. So let's see here. I saw a question, and you can ask me life questions as well. I saw one, but I lost it. Somebody asked, what is True Love's day job? Taking care of the boys. Okay, I also missed a super chat here. Oh, man, did I miss 2 super chats? No, there's Simon. All right, here we go. 1 second from Senk. He says, for the Alpha Fly question, keep up the good work. Awesome, Senk. I appreciate it. Okay, so Antonius asks, how is the Hoka mock compared to the Clayton on the wall? That's awesome. So, hold on here. Where did it go? Everyone, this is probably one of the more sad, I don't want to say, maybe disappointing shoes thus far in 2020. It was way too stiff, firm through the midsole landing. Like the density of this midsole foam just did not work at all. I really did not like the Mach, and it's just, personal preference, but it just was this is the Mach 3, and it's sad because I was pretty excited about this shoe for some tempo days and even potentially some threshold days, but it just did not work. So compared to the Clayton, it's just a much, much denser midsole foam. Good question. Okay. Oscar says, hi, love the vids. I appreciate it, Oscar, for tuning in. Okay, moving on here. Alpha 51K, what is your best longer run shoe? Looking for something that is supportive and cushioned for the roads. So Alpha 51K, my go-to, if you're looking for cushion, you might want to lean toward Hoka. The Bondi is the big maximalist shoe from Hoka. But I have, and also I'll just give a shout out to the Elevon 2 as well. Really, I think I gave this a score maybe of a 7.5 out of 10, I believe. I enjoyed this shoe quite a bit, the Elevon 2 from Hoka. But I'm using quite a bit the Vomero 14 for my long runs right now from Nike, the Vomero 14 with a new and updated tongue, okay? And then also, if you're out on the trails, the Hoka, again, back to the EVO Speed Goat or the Speed Goat 4 from Hoka. What else? And then, of course, the Glide Ride. But I use the Glide Ride, here it is. I use the Glide Ride more for long runs where I want to go a little faster. So that's 6:30 pace as opposed to 6:30 per mile as opposed to, let's say, 7 minutes or 7:15 per mile, for me. So Glide Ride, but keep in mind, it's a little more peppy. It's got some pep in its step in the Glide Ride. Okay, good question. Here we go. Oh, man. Nasha asks, Brooks Hyperion Elite, not in the rotation yet. hopefully someday. So many, actually, when I tried to buy it, they were out of stock, I do believe. Maybe they're back in stock. I'm not sure. Samir asks, thank you for the super chat. Is it wise for neutral runners to use a stability shoe for long runs or just when legs are tired? Also, thanks for the inspiration. Love your channel. I appreciate it, Samir. I don't think you need a stability shoe for long runs unless you're pronating, like overpronating really bad, or maybe a friend is running with you on a long run, and let's say the last 25% of your long run, a friend is running with you and noticing like, whoa, your ankle is really turning in a lot. That might be something to look at, but I would say I've never done that, okay? I don't think you would need to do that, again, unless you're really overpronating toward the end. I appreciate that super chat so much. Let's see. Garrett asks, Seth, do you just run or do you have other hobbies? That's a good question, Garrett. So I would say my other hobbies, I used to enjoy photography, which really led to my video production passion. But now I do so much video production that I don't really do photography anymore. I used to snowboard quite a bit back in high school and college to a certain extent. But anyway, yeah, so those would be my two. Photography. Yeah, I mean, I definitely have some other, like, I enjoy traveling, but at the same time, family's priority. And so anyway, those would be a few to throw out there for you. There we go. Okay, moving on here. Good question. Okay, let's see. Oh man, hopefully I'm not missing any. Okay, Scoots Run says USA Track and Field and some of the athletes are calling for the postponement of the Olympics. What are your thoughts? Love the Hoka slides. Yes, Scoots Run. So, yeah, this is a tough one. Everyone. As you know, the Olympics are in Tokyo this summer. Scoots Runs and everybody else, from what I can tell, like it appears Japan is pressing ahead based on their social media posting. And every day, things change, updates change. Some encouraging news is I think it appears China and South Korea may be getting a little bit of a grip on the spread of the virus, based on some news reports over the past couple days. But I think Scoots Runs at this point, because and this is different than a week ago, than 2 weeks ago, than 3 weeks ago. I think it's going to be postponed. It looks like that because July is not that far off. I just don't know if the world is going to have the virus under control in the next 3 months. But there are some pretty encouraging developments with respect to research and hopefully getting the virus under control sooner rather than later. So anyway, I would say it looks like the Olympics should be postponed. Now, whether that's late in 2020 or maybe it's a year later, I'm not sure. But as far as letting it go in July, I don't know if it's going to happen, frankly. I really just don't think it's going to happen. So, all right, good question. All right, moving on here from Balif. Let's see. I've trained in Ghost for years, but I've recently switched to other brands, Hoka, Nike, but my legs are just constantly burning and my pace is slower. Any suggestions on different shoes, etc.? Thanks. Oh, man, the Ghosts are from Brooks, just so everyone knows. I know they're out here somewhere. 1 second. There they are. These are the Brooks Ghost 11. I do believe, yeah, the Ghost 11. I don't have the 12s. And you've been switched to Hoka and Nike. I mean, this is a 12 millimeter drop. Belief, I would say, I always say, like, stick with what works, all right? So if you like the Ghost lineup, but maybe you just want to explore other shoes, I would look at, here it is. I would look at, actually, if you want to stay with Brooks, I loved the glycerin. Is this the night? Yeah, glycerin 18. If you want to stick with Brooks, I liked the glycerin a lot more than the Ghost. Just so you know. And my other recommendation, I love the Asics Gel Nimbus Light. Daily trainer, plenty of midsole stack height to protect your legs from the pounding on the pavement and the concrete, and plenty of outsole. The Asics High Abrasion Rubber on the outsole for the durability of the shoe. Love this shoe. I like the Gel Nimbus Light a lot more than the Glycerin 18. So those would be two to toss out to you. All right, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. All right, Trevor asks, does it embarrass you when I say you have a cute haircut? I said it to you during New York City and the group around you laugh. I'll stop it if it bugs. Trevor, I don't remember that, Trevor, but thanks for the super chat anyway. I must say, it's my corona hair right now. I need a haircut, but all the haircut places are shut down. Okay. Let's see here. Darag Kelly asks, hey Seth, what do you think is good mileage for a college track athlete, 800 to 1500 meters? For that distance, if you're racing the 15, I would say 50 to 60. Yeah, I'm just going to tell it to you straight. That's the gut number that's hitting, maybe 65. But I think with the 1500 meters, it's all about, making sure that turnover. So you want to build your aerobic engine for the shorter distances, the 800 meters and the 1500 meters, but you also want to make sure your legs are snappy and are turnover primed and ready for that turnover, for being able to dig. So by reducing your volume a little bit for those shorter distances, you're able to dedicate more time to plyometrics, to gym work, because I think for the 800 and 1500 meters especially, you do need to be stronger than the 10K, in my opinion, than the 10K on the track. Like you got to be able to dig, so especially the 800 meters. So anyway, that's the number that's hitting me. 50 to 60, maybe 65 miles per week. And again, I don't know your background. So anyway, take that with a grain of salt. But there you go. All right, Super Chat's coming in. Oh, man, thank you, Jason, for the support from, it looks like, is that Canada? Maybe CA? Thank you, Jason, for that $5 or $5 Canadian Super Chat. And then, let's see here. So this is from Cindy, $1.99 Super Chat. Love you and the fam. Do you still have a day job? So Cindy, that's a big question. I actually made a vlog about day jobs and everything maybe about a year ago now. Let's see. I do have a day job, but it's very, very flexible, okay? So my hours are flexible. I can make my own schedule. So it's in media production, just so everyone knows, and fundraising. So anyway, just so you know, Cindy, good question for the $1.99 Super Chat. I appreciate it. And let's see here. Jude asked, 2-hour training principle for non-marathon race distances. Ooh, Jude. Yes. So everyone knows the vlog about the 2-hour training principle, how I like to train. Jude, depending on your experience, all right, that's a big caveat. I've been running for 20 years, and so I have built up over a long time, and you know how much I'm always pounding the table about it. Long distance running is literally a marathon as far as building up your stamina and your endurance. It's not a 6-month project. It's not an 18-month project. It's at least a 3-year project, and more like 4, 5, 6-year project in order to build up your aerobic base. And then as far as that 2-hour principle goes, I would say if you've been running for 5 years, you could really start to integrate it into your training. And I think definitely for the half marathon, the 2-hour principle. And again, depending on your situation, I would even argue with the 10K. But it depends on the level of competitiveness that you want to race with, okay? the more aerobic base you have, remember, all right, actually, hold on. Do I have it here? Let's see. All right, here we go. So the bigger your base is, I don't know if you can hear me, the bigger your base is on the triangle, building that aerobic engine, the higher the peak is for your race day. All right, at least, and it's not just this. That is not just me talking. That is based on science and based on the experience of coaches that are way smarter than I am. All right, so I'm not just pulling this out of nowhere. And of course, there's vlogs. There's vlogs all about building your aerobic engine on this channel. Good question from Jude. I love it. Let's see. Garrett asks, should high school runners start summer training now since track is canceled? Garrett, I would say no. Now, my argument, if I was a high school coach, I would have continued, and the runners were really dedicated, and in my high school, we were really dedicated, like the long distance runners. I don't know about the 400 and 200 meter runners, but the mile and 2 mile, I would have had them continue training if they wanted it and they had the passion. And then I would have had them do a time trial alone, all right, not in a group, alone, toward the end of the season. Maybe not like the same day that state was going to be, or regionals or districts. But again, it goes back to that mental side. You put so much work into a training block, and then just to quit because the official season is over. And I get it, it's hard. But you're also building up, I think, a certain amount of mental toughness to be able to train for something that is not as, let's say, glorified as an official big race. So I would have had them finish the track season, do a time trial at the end as if it was their state meet, and then take a break and then start training. Honestly, I think mid-June, early to mid-June. Yeah, mid-June. I think the cross-country season for high school runners, I think it often is too long. I think it gets dragged out too long. I think especially high schoolers, they're growing, they're still developing, their bodies are still developing. I think a training block. So anyway, that's if I was a high school coach, that's how I would do it, is take time off after the track season and then pick it up in mid-June. All right. Oh, man. I hope everyone's doing well. How's everyone doing? I'm just pulling as many questions as I can. And again, if you want me to answer a question 100%, I would say do the super chat because it's hard to see. There's so many questions coming in. Okay. Let's see. Jacob asks, what is your favorite trail running shoe for half marathon distance? Jacob, depends on the trail, but I would go with, actually, let's open up another box, shall we? All right, Jacob. So now, Jacob, when I race, I'm trying to rock and roll. You know that. Like I want to go fast. This is an aggressive trail running shoe, meaning the stack height is not very tall, and therefore your legs are going to be very tired and sore at the end of the race and the next day and the next day. But that's why I race, is I want to go fast and I want to go into that pain cave. So when I'm racing, I'm in an aggressive shoe. So I'm not saying this shoe is best for everyone, but it is the Salomon S-Lab Sense 8. This is the 8, the SG. So this is the new updated version, Salomon S-Lab SG Sense. Salomon S-Lab Sense 8 SG, okay? And it has a little more aggressive outsole pattern. There it is. And again, but this is for muddy trails. This is just rock and roll time, man. Rock and roll time. So I hope that helps. But again, I'm not saying this is for everyone, because you will feel it the next day. I promise you're going to be sore after racing in that shoe. Okay, let me set that down there. Moving on. Let's see. Ernie asks, real quick here, if you decide to run your virtual marathon, how are you going to organize your hydration? Ernie, I will plant water bottles along the course ahead of time. All right, so I'll go like the day before and I'll hide some water bottles along the course. Good question from Ernie. Okay, let's see. Forward looking at how much time do you spend stretching, if any, before each run? Does it depend on the run type? 10 to 15 minutes. Yeah, 10 to 15 minutes, which also includes about 3 to 5 minutes of foam rolling. And then if I'm really tired and sore, I'll add a little more foam rolling as well. So there you go. Good question from Forward Looking, and we're moving on to Roberto. Here we go. $10 super chat. Thank you, Roberto. Hey, Seth, best vlog on YouTube. Oh, man, trying every day. Really appreciate your daily motivation in such difficult times. Ever considered or tried stimulating the rest of the family to run/jog? 7 billion runners. Yes, Roberto is referencing a vlog that I made about 2 months ago now, where the title of the vlog was 7 billion runners. And I think, and especially Roberto, in times like these, from what I'm reading, in fact, the New York Times had an article, a bunch of different places have articles coming out about how people are starting to pick up the sport of running during the coronavirus. Why? Because basketball courts are closed, soccer fields are closed, like gyms are closed, everything is closed. And so, what's the easiest way to get outside, get fresh air, go pound some ground and get fit is to go run. So, Roberto, I don't know. I think this is a great, although I realize some nations like Italy, Spain, some places are in lockdown, so you can't go outside. So I totally agree with that. But in some locations in the world, you can still go. So anyway, yes, Roberto, we're trying to spread the word. Okay, Jason's back in the super chat. Do you actually run in shoes a half size bigger? Is this the best way to avoid black toes? Jason, I do not. I run in true to size shoes. If you might want to have your foot measured again at a running shoe store, maybe your foot size is, and you know what? Some people's feet, like their left foot is bigger than their right foot, or their left foot is wider than their right foot. So that can happen to some runners out there. So keep that in mind, Jason. But no, I go true to size for my running shoes. Okay, just trying to find the questions here. Yotam asks, hey Seth, love your channel. Any advice for increasing VO2 max? Oh man, Yotam. Oh, that's a big question. So Yotam, and for everybody else, just so you know, on the homepage, in fact, oh man, I'm taking a risk here. Wait 1 second here. Let me just see if I can, hold on here. Let me pull it up. Yotam, 1 second here. Okay, we got it. 1 second. I gotta pull up the homepage of the YouTube channel so you can see it. 1 second here. Okay, let me just minimize that. All right, so this is the homepage, and scroll down. All right, so we're live now. You can see that. Scroll down. So here's the running vlogs daily. Here's my marathon training plan schedule that I've talked about so much. Here's the most popular uploads right there. And then if you scroll down a little further, Yotam, I'm going to direct you to, oh no, where is it? Oh, there it is. Oh, I thought I lost it. How to run faster, okay? Go watch all of these vlogs, Yotam. I promise you're going to learn a lot about increasing your VO2 max. So, shout out to that playlist. Just hit play all, and it will run you through the entire playlist. All right, good question from Yotam. I appreciate it, but I think that's going to be the more beneficial for everyone to point that out. All right, and we're back. Okay, let's see. Oh my goodness. There's just so many. A-Rod Mod, just gonna throw it up, says butter my bread every day. A-Rod, every day. Okay. I see Fresh Appleseed from LA. I'm having an Achilles tendon issue right now. It's been inflamed for about 2 weeks. It feels a lot better, but it hasn't completely gone away. Suggestions for recovery. Fresh Appleseed, Achilles tendons do that. I've had it maybe twice. I will say this much, Fresh Appleseed, based on my experience, I'm not a doctor, is that it should not go backward. I think Achilles tendons take extra time, though, to heal. Definitely reduce your mileage, okay, which sounds like you're already doing. Yeah, reduce your mileage. You probably don't have access to a pool right now because all the pools are closed down. But if you could get to a pool and do aqua jogging, that would be amazing. I know in college, when other runners had Achilles tendon issues, they went to the pool and did aqua jogging. So that can be really good. Yeah, so that would be, and then gentle stretching. You don't want to overstretch it, okay? Just really gentle stretching. But I think the biggest thing is you're probably going to have to keep your you're probably going to have to keep your mileage down. Okay. Let's see. Esco says, ciao from Italy. Oh, thanks for watching from Italy. All the best to the Italians out there. It's really hard right now. Really hard. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry for what's happening. Are you afraid of a full lockdown and no running like in Italy? I'm not, only because the United States is so much different. Now listen, the cases are rising, but even like New York City is locked down, but people can still go jog. Basically, they're saying people need to stay home, but they can still go outside to jog and walk. But I mean, who knows? Maybe it'll come to that. The United States is just such a bigger country, and we're so spread out. Like North Dakota is a lot different than New York City. So I just don't think a full lockdown is going to happen. But good question, and all the best to the Italians. Oh my goodness, it's just tough. Okay. Graham Bestow asked thoughts on the Nike Aero Swift apparel. Love it. Lightweight, breathable, but yeah, very lightweight. I really love it. Yes, Adam says, for the Achilles inflammation, use rice. That is absolutely correct. Rest, ice, compression, elevate. Rest, ice, compression, elevate. Okay, let's see. Ninja Miles says, did you run your track workouts in flats / spikes or in trainers? In college, we did spikes, man. So my coach believed that you want to mimic. Now, not all the time, but a lot of times we spiked up because we were going fast and he wanted us to go fast. And so I must say now I don't often spike up because frankly, I'm getting a little older and the legs, it's hard on the legs to spike up often. But yeah, it's a good question. If you want to go faster, yes, you spike up, but you just got to do it in a smart way. I'm a smart way. Chris Hill says, I'm a 412 miler. Nice, Chris. With that being said, what is the best shoe for 60 to 80 mile weeks and can manage speed workouts? Oh, well, wow, Chris, congrats. You are fast, man. Okay. I see where you're going, Chris. So, Chris, I'm going to go kind of crazy for you. The Skechers Horizon Vanish for $100. Very affordable. I love this shoe. Now, I don't know if I wouldn't do a long run or a middle distance run, but I think this shoe could be taken up to, 6 miles, 8 miles, 10 miles. I don't know if I'd go much past 10 miles in this shoe. This shoe is so lightweight. Now, it's very neutral, okay? So if you need any stability, this is not the shoe for you. But I would absolutely, Chris, jog to the track in this shoe, do a track workout in this shoe, and then jog home. I really would. It's got that much. Now, it's not really it's just very nimble. So you're in control of your legs. The shoe is not in control of your legs in the Skechers Horizon Vanish. I really like this shoe a lot. I think my size, 4.6 ounces. So again, just very lightweight. But if you need a shoe with a little more support, or sorry, not a little more, a little more cushion, I would say the Hoka Rincon would be another option for you, which the Rincon 2 is coming out very, very soon, okay? So there you go. Hopefully that helps, Chris. Okay, everyone, how we doing? If you got some last minute questions. Squeeze them in right now because we're going to shut. We've been going an hour. I like to respect your time, so we've been going an hour. It's been fun. But if I'll take 5 more questions. How's that sound for Ask Me Anything? For Ask Me Anything. All right. Let me just let them roll in here. Okay, well, I'll take one right now as they roll in. Matt asks, what are your thoughts on compression pants? Do they work? Thanks for the inspiration, brother. Salutations from South Africa. Awesome, Matt. Thanks for tuning in all the way from South Africa. That's amazing. I love them. I love compression sleeves for my calves and compression. They're not really pants, but they're like half tights that go around my quads and my hamstrings. I really do believe that compression on your legs. In fact, Matt, thank you for the reminder. As once I go inside, I'm going to put mine on because I'm still a little sore and tired from that 23 miler on Wednesday. And I think it does help with recovery, Matt, basically drawing more blood down to your legs. So I absolutely am a believer, and I use the Compress Sport compression sleeves the most. Compress Sport is the go-to company for me. Okay, let's see. Oscar asks, do you think Kipchoge versus Bekele battle will be delayed to 2021? Ooh, man, Oscar, I don't know. I'm planning to go to London. I think it's so hard to say right now. That would be in early October. Is London October 4th? It's so hard to say, right? Because everything is up in the air right now. I think we need to see, I'll say this much, Oscar. I think we need to see a breakthrough in a reduction of cases, but also in remedies for the coronavirus. I would say like in the next month, all right? Next 4 to 6 weeks at the most. So like early to mid-May. I think we need to see something happen, whether it's with remedies for the coronavirus or I don't know. That would be my answer. So good question. Okay, let's see. There's so many coming in. Oh, I see a super chat here from Marlon. Okay, let's let it get here. Marlon says, when does your book Seth's Running and Life Tips publish? Awesome, Marlon. I know, Marlon. I need to find a little bit of time to put my thoughts down on paper and an audio book, right? So you can listen to it while you're running or doing your gym workout. So thanks, Marlon, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Let's see. David asks, okay, what stretches do you recommend for mild plantar fasciitis? So David, it's crazy, David, but your plantar fasciitis, and I've made many, many vlogs about this on the channel, is connected all the way up your kinetic chain, so all the way up to your lower back muscles. So you need to stretch, David, your glutes and your hamstrings. So it's so crazy, but your hamstrings, you think your hamstrings are so far away from the bottom of your foot, but it's actually think of it as a giant rubber band from your toes all the way up to the top of basically your lower back. And if your entire kinetic chain is tight, that's pulling on your heel and on your fascia tendon that connects to your heel in your calcaneus bone, okay? So I'd recommend really, really focusing on your hamstrings, especially your calves, your soleus, and your calves, your soleus, your hamstring, and then even your glutes, okay? So it's that entire kinetic chain that needs to be stretched out. All right, thank you so much. All right, here we go. We'll take two more. Scott says, let's see, thanks for the super chat. 382, top 3 foods to put sriracha on and worst food. That's awesome. Everyone knows how much I love hot sauce. Everyone, I'm crazy. I love hot sauce. I probably need to tone it down because I use it way too much. I put hot sauce on my salads. That's how much I love hot sauce. Top 3 foods, I would say I love it on pizza. I love it on salads. And I love it on my chicken. Just my chicken. Good old chicken breast. Yeah, I went there. I guess, okay, a burrito, but that's obvious. That's obvious, you know. And worst food, a bobo bar. Don't put it on your bobo bars. All right, good. Thank you, Scott. And one more. Here we go. Let's see. Okay, so many questions. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. We'll go with Troy. I'm a 1705 freshman 5K runner. Congrats, Troy. That's exciting. What's a good goal for next cross-country season? So, Troy, I hope you heard what I said earlier about your training block and starting your training block not too early. I think you're going to see... I think you could shoot for, Troy, and I don't know your background. I don't know how you're growing. Just keep that in mind, like you're a growing runner. I think I weighed, you know what, everyone? I was about 4'9", 4 feet, 9 inches tall my freshman year of high school. It was very small. I think I weighed 90 pounds, maybe 95 pounds at the most. And I shot up to 5'3", maybe 5'4", by my sophomore year. So I hit my growth spurt. And I'm still not the tallest guy in the room. So just keep that in mind, Troy. But I think a legitimate goal would be 16:20, 16:25. So about a 30 to 40 second drop. I really mean that. I think so. And again, I don't know how you're growing, how you're progressing, but I would say that 16:25 range would be very, very attainable for you. All right, everyone, you're the best. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. What a day. What a world we're in right now. We're in this together, supporting each other, supporting through DeMoor Global Running. In case you, again, if you're just joining, Strava, Facebook group, a lot of good discussions happening there about the coronavirus, and I just appreciate you all tuning in. And a shout out again to everyone who supported the channel through the super chats. Yeah, that helps me make these daily vlogs. So, all right, everyone, we're going to call it there. I do believe onward and upward. Let me just close this out, and you have yourself a great rest of your Sunday. As we always say, seek beauty, work hard, and love each other. See you tomorrow.